What's up, NASCAR Authentics fans? David Land here, and welcome to a new style of NASCAR Authentics reviews. This is what I'm calling a wave showcase. And what that will allow me to do is not have to rely on buying all of the cars in the wave, but focus on cars in the wave that are particularly interesting to me, and I would guess by extent more interesting to you. Now, the two cars I've left out of this wave straight up front are the Alliance Truck Parts Brad Keselowski car and the Sunny D Ricky Stenhouse car. The reason being is because I've already bought those cars in other waves that have come out fairly recently. So I felt like I was looking in the store and I was like, why am I buying these? I've already bought them. You know, I'll leave them for somebody else. But what this will also allow me to do further on down the line is if I can't find a car to a specific wave, you will still get a review of that wave minus the car that was elusive for whatever reason. So hopefully this will get you guys quicker videos, quicker, easier to digest and watch NASCAR Authentics videos, and with better content because the cars are very interesting and different from the ones you've seen in the past. So we've got a very interesting wave here for wave number 6. Let's get into it. So the first car we are taking a look at in our wave showcase is Ryan Newman's number 31 Grainger Chevrolet for Richard Childress Racing. Now, of course, this was the paint scheme that took victory in the Phoenix race. As you can see, there's the two cars I did not buy. I think there are very minor decal differences between one and the other, so just an FYI on that one. But there's the rest of the wave. That's the back of the card, so very nice. Let's crack this bad boy open. I'm excited to have the car that probably unnecessarily so beat Kyle Larson at Phoenix. So here we go. Pulling out the magnet, which we will take a look at very shortly. And here is the Grainger number 31. So here is Ryan Newman's Grainger 31 out of its box. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure that Greg Biffle used to be sponsored by this company, right? I'm not making that up. I feel like I'm getting a very similar vibe. It's possible that I'm confusing one company with another, but I'm pretty sure this is an old Greg Biffle sponsor. But of course, I could always be 150% wrong. So be sure to shout at me in the comments if that's wrong. But I have to say, I actually like this better than his cat paint scheme. It just looks better. It's a nicer looking paint scheme. I wasn't a big fan of the white that they went with this year. It's just like, you know, I know they're trying to be different, but when different is crap, why do you let it be different? You know what I mean? But this one looks very nice. I'm actually quite pleased with how this one has turned out. And as you can see, here's the magnet. Pretty simple and straightforward. But if you're a Ryan Newman fan and you saw this car win on TV or in person, I'm sure you will want to add it to your collection because it was a pretty cool win. Even though it came on a green-white checker and at the expense of Kyle Larson, you know, it's fine. You got Newman into the chase, which isn't going to mean a whole lot, I would guess. I'm guessing he will be out at the first round. But hey, he gets a participation award for the chase. Now, it's interesting, looking at the 31 there, and on the camera it's kind of turning up orange. It almost kind of gives me a Robbie Gordon vibe, kind of like a Singular Wireless vibe, even though this is a red car. It's looking orange on the camera, so it's giving me that kind of, you know, old Singular Wireless vibe. I miss that version of RCR. It was more fun back then in those days, before, as my friend Buddy says, or maybe that was Kevin Harvick, it's a team for rich kids and ride buyers now. Unfortunately, but that's the way of the world. Red splitter. This car also features the small spoiler. In fact, I think all the cars in the wave feature the small spoiler. So maybe that's a reason you should buy the Sunny D car and the Alliance Truck Parts car if you want the small spoiler. That's probably a good idea. I hadn't even considered that. Maybe I should have bought the whole wave. I don't know. But yeah, I like this car quite a bit. Ryan Newman's 31 Grainger car. I think it's a pretty cool car. Even though it beat Kyle Larson, which I do not condone. Let's move on to the next car in the wave. So the next car we are taking a look at in the wave maybe a controversial one. I'm not really sure because last time I checked, you couldn't have any beer sponsors in the toy aisle. You couldn't have certainly no cigarette sponsors or just any alcohol of any kind. No Fuzzy's vodka, no Jim Beam, no Crown Royal, none of that stuff. None of that stuff. Budweiser off limits. Bush beer, completely unacceptable to sell to children. But a Hooters car in the toy aisle. Now, again, I'm being a little bit hypocritical because in the past I have said some things that are like, why don't we just have beer cars? I mean, let's be real here. Kids aren't dumb. They know what the products are, and they know if the products are marketed towards them or not. So here we go, Hooters. The Hooters car. I've been to Hooters once, and I didn't necessarily. Everybody talks so great about the wings. I didn't really like the wings. I think B-Dubs is better, and I did like the fried pickles. Those were good, but my Hooters experience was an average wing place, and obviously something else. But he's okay. He's okay. If you like Hooters, more power to you. But meh. I was very meh on the whole experience. But it's probably the closest thing we're going to get in NASCAR Authentics to the Little Caesars car. So let's get it out of its box, shall we? Oh, here's the Hooters magnet. And here comes the Hooters mobile. Fried chicken coming in. So there's the Hooters car out of its box. Couple things. I remember when this livery came out, or paint scheme, livery, it's all the same thing. I remember when they showed this off, I was like, it's kind of hard to see the numbers on this one, right? At least on the side. I mean, bright yellow with a thin orange line on a white background. They didn't let Terry Labonte race with a half and half paint scheme, but they let Chase Elliott race with a number that doesn't really particularly become all that visible at even a medium distance. Again, you guys are looking at it kind of close up. But if I were to zoom out the camera, the number becomes significantly less visible. I know a lot of NASCAR fans will have a lot of good memories of the Hooters car because, of course, Brett Bodine ran this for a while, and, of course, Alan Kawicki won a championship in his own car with this paint scheme adorning it. But once again, here is the Hooters logo. The Hooters logo on a magnet with the number 24. So there you go, folks. And now to look at the car. So we've got like 3 contingencies. That's encouraging. Sun Energy 1, Mountain Dew, Napa, all the regular sponsors that you would expect on a Chase Elliott car. Napa Auto Parts in its normal place, as well as Hooters, which says something down here. Is this going to get me demonetized? Let's see. Oh, politically incorrect since 1963. Well, yeah, that's going to get me demonetized, surely. Oh, well. Let's say... Oh, God. Meta jokes, they're always fun. Wow. That Hooters logo is a little crooked, don't you think? There are so many jokes I want to make there, but I'm just not going to. We're going to take the higher ground on this one, folks. There's not a whole lot to say about this car outside of, like, the politically incorrect stuff. I don't know if this is the best Hooters scheme. It's tough for me to talk about it. You've got some, like, stripes on it. The more I look at this car, the less I'm really into it, to be honest with you. I definitely think I'm pretty sure I reviewed one of the Alan Kawicki cars. I think I got one of them in the Darlington Throwback Wave. So I think I like that car better. I don't know. I know they tried something different, but I think they kind of failed in this respect. So, if there was a fight, who would win, the Monster Energy girls or the Hooters girls? All right, that ought to get me demonetized. Let's move on to the next car in the wave now, shall we? So the next car in the wave we will be taking a look at is not a Smithfield number 43, even though it does say it on there, and yes, you will get the line when that Smithfield logo is reviewed. But this is the U.S. Air Force number 43 for Aric Almorola. This is a car we have not seen in a very long time. I can't remember the last time this car was made in a diecast. Probably when he won that range-shortened race back in like 2014, that was, I think. But yeah, a pretty nice looking car. But the question that I have to ask right off the bat is, can we get the Air Force to sponsor Bubba Wallace for a full season? Can I get an amen on that one? So let's get this bad boy out of its box, because it's a pretty nice looking car, and it comes with a plastic hood, so that is always good. I like the plastic hoods, even though they don't come with a magnet. Oops, problems. That would make them a little more valuable. But this is a nice looking car. Let's take a closer look at the U.S. Air Force number 43. So here is Almorola's U.S. Air Force number 43 out of its box. A very pretty car. I love the it's like a storm in the night sky. I guess that's what the Air Force is trying to go for their advertising. If I ever had to join a branch of the military, let's say the war with North Korea actually happens, I would probably join the Air Force if I absolutely had to. That'd be the branch of the military I would join. Thanks Star Wars for that, folks. But yeah, really cool. I like the light. I've always been a fan of lightning bolt liveries. Obviously, if you know anything about my IndyCar history, I have a few of the Target lightning bolt diecast schemes. So yeah, I'm a big fan of lightning bolts. And this one looks even better, in my opinion, because of the dark blue with the light blue. Just very cool. It got a very Emperor Palpatine vibe. That's a second Star Wars reference in one video. I'm doing pretty well. Yeah, this is a cool hood. And you've even got like a uniform print on here, which is really neat. So yeah, this is a cool little piece. I'm quite happy with this one from the perspective of, yeah, it's nice. It's a nice looking car. Obviously Ford Fusion, that's always nice to get. Because it seems like any version of NASCAR Authentics always wants to do a lot of Chevys, and then they've got the Richard Petty thing right in the middle, because of course they had to. I didn't even notice that was there until just now, so they did a good job of hiding that thing. You want to aim high and focus on the Smithfield. Okay, so STP, Fresh from Florida, all these sponsors that we all know about. Nice red number 43, and that is red. That is not Petty Orange or STP Orange. Black splitter, which is interesting. But yeah, this is a beautiful car. I have to say, this is probably one of my favorites that I've seen come out of NASCAR Authentics in a while, just because it's different. It's something that you don't see every day, and it isn't the kind of car that gets a lot of attention. Not a lot of people, talk about these. You don't see it posted all over Instagram like you would see this car, and it's just it's a nice car, and this is the kind of stuff I like to buy because it's different, and difference is always a good thing. So yeah, this is a would highly recommend on my scale, because just buy the different cars, because it means Lionel will make different cars, right? Okay, so let's move on to the next car in the wave, and hopefully this car does not retire on us before we can review it. Let's take a look at one of the last Dale Jr. Oh, let's be real here. This is not going to be one of the last Dale Jr. cars they do in NASCAR Authentics. I'm guessing for the next 2 years we'll have Dale Jr. cars populating the waves of Lionel's NASCAR Authentics. I don't blame them, by the way, because I think the diecast industry, and this is a serious discussion point, this isn't me making a joke, is that I think the diecast industry, particularly on the NASCAR side, is really going to struggle in the next couple of years as they try to find a driver that can make up the sales difference that Dale Jr. is going to leave. In fact, NASCAR in general is going to have to find a different way to sell their product now that Dale Jr. is out of the driver's seat. And no, I don't think that him coming to commentate for NBC is going to make a meaningful difference in the ratings. People want to see Dale Jr. drive, and if he's not driving, are they really going to want to listen to him for 2.5 hours, say playoffs every 30 seconds? Anyway, let's talk about the car, because I think the car is very, very nice. I wasn't a big fan of this Axalta scheme when I saw it unveiled originally, but looking at it, it's awesome. It's awesome. It's a pretty cool paint scheme, I have to say. I'll give some more detailed thoughts after we rip this thing open, because y'all love to see the cars get ripped open. There's the magnet, which we will be taking a look at very, very shortly. And now, we'll take a closer look at Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s Axalta Chevy. There's old Junebug's number 88 Axalta car, and I think it's really awesome. It's day glow yellow and day glow orange, and it's going to be hard to pick that up on the camera. It might pick it up, it might not, but it's like it's really a nice looking die cast in person. I have to give Lionel all of the credit for nailing the paint color, because this thing, it pops. I would honestly consider, if you are a Dale Jr. fan, for sure, buy the 124 of this one. Yeah, because if they got the color right on this, on like they did on this for the 124, man, that would be a great looking die cast. I'm actually going to Dover this weekend. In fact, when you're seeing this video, I will be at Dover. So if I see this car in 124, I may be very, very convinced I might buy it. I don't know, because it's honestly that cool. I mean, I've always been a fan. If you've seen some of my IndyCar videos where I talk about Simon Pagenaud, I haven't been able to review a Paul Menard car because I couldn't find that. But I've always been a big fan of the Menard's paint schemes because of their day glow nature. Very, very bright. When you look at one in the sun, you almost want to shield your eyes. It's so bloody bright. But yeah, this is a great looking piece of diecast, I have to say. It will really stand out in your collection, I would certainly say. And I don't praise junior cars all that much because we get so dang many of them. But yeah, the magnet is the magnet. It's just the render of the car. So, but this car, on the other hand, the car is worth, I would say, every penny of your purchase price. Look how it pops. I mean, this is just a beautiful piece. As far as I can tell, all the decaling is perfect on my example. Nationwide insurance. Axalta coating systems. Of course, Axalta used to be DuPont. I don't need to tell any of you that, but if anybody is shocked by that, in fact, there's probably less people around that even remember what DuPont was anymore. But yeah, beautiful car. Very, very bright, very, very colorful. And, for a paint company, shouldn't that be what their car looks like all the time, is bright and colorful? You're trying to sell your product. I mean, that's selling your product right there. Yeah, I can't give this higher marks. If I did a rating system, it would be a 10 out of 10. So, let's move on to the last car in the wave, and a car that's making me a little hungry. The next and final car we will be taking a look at, I'm going to leave that in, from wave number 6, is Slaw Custard. The guy that everybody was so high on, everybody was on the hype train for, until William Byron showed up and everybody forgot about Cole Custer. But anyway, this is a pretty cool car. It's a Haas CNC for the Stewart Haas Racing Xfinity team. Not the first car we've gotten from this team. We already got a Kevin Harvick car. But this one's cooler because not only does it have the 00 of NASCAR legend Buckshot Jones, but it's also an Xfinity regular. No Cup association aside from the team. Yeah, this is a great addition. Can we get more of this, please? Less Cup drivers. Heck, there's leeches in NASCAR Authentics for the Xfinity guys. Can we just have some diecast of the drivers who drive in the series regularly? No, of course we can't, because we can't have nice things. So let's appreciate it when we get them. And this is a very, very nice diecast. And I'm sure we will be getting a Rookie of the Year diecast, even though William Byron will probably get that, and we'll never get a regular William Byron in NASCAR. Then watch that happen. We'll just get the Rookie of the Year car. That would be annoying, but this is a very nice looking diecast. So there is Slaw Custard's car out of its box. Very cool. I mean, I love this Mustang body already. I think they did a really good job when they kind of rebranded the Xfinity cars to get them that nice look. I was definitely a big fan when they brought the Camaro and Mustang, and really the Challenger was the best one of the bunch. Unfortunately, it's the car that only about 2 teams run anymore because Dodge pulled out their factory support, because Dodge always does that. Dodge wins the championship and Dodge leaves the series. That always happens. It never fails. Good job, Dodge. Can you stick around for more than like 5-6 years? They stuck around in Cup for a while, but even then they left. What a sad. I'm talking about Dodge during an Xfinity regular. So Slaw Custard, he's not really done all that much, unfortunately. Again, I think he's one of those guys that's kind of been hindered by the the Cup guys. He hasn't really been able to shine quite as much as I think he probably could, especially given the equipment that he is in. Even though this is the first season for the Haas, the Stewart Haas racing team in Xfinity, so you can give them a little bit of leeway in terms of the fact that their performance isn't quite there yet. But by the same token, it'd be nice just to see the Xfinity guys go head-to-head and see who turned out on top. But yeah, again, just look at that. I love this. I mean, it really does give you the vibe of a Mustang. And, that's all you can ask for. Again, they've gotten rid of the door detail, which is apparently for real. They did that in real life. I'm seeing the Xfinity cars on Saturday, so I will get to not only experience Xfinity for the first time since, like, oh, God, when was the last time I saw the Xfinity cars? Like, Indianapolis? Like 2014, I want to say, was the last time I saw the Xfinity cars. But I also get to experience stage racing. Yay. And I'll get to see Slaw Custard. Hey, maybe Slaw Custard will win. You know what? I will bring this diecast to Dover, and I'll post like on my social media with it. So that's if you're watching this late into the video, go follow me on social media, and I'll try to post the photo of the Slaw Custard car somewhere at Dover. So yeah. But anyway, talking about the car, talking about the Buckshot Jones, let's just talk about everything but this car. I like this car. It's white with red and black. You know what? Keep it simple, stupid. That's exactly what I like. You know exactly what car it is when it's coming around the banking. See, it's beautiful. It's beautiful, I have to say. This is, obviously, I think I don't have to explain this to you folks. This is probably the highlight of the wave for not only me, but probably for a lot of people. Because we like diecasts that are different. We like drivers that are new. And we like Xfinity cars in our waves that are predominantly Hendrick and Stewart Haas cars, even though this is a Stewart Haas car. It's an Xfinity car. That makes it better. All right, let's go and take a look at all the cars together, or most of the cars together, and I'll give some final thoughts. So that was the Wave 6 showcase for NASCAR Authentics. I hope you guys accept this new form of video review for NASCAR Authentics. If you liked it, obviously leave a like on it. If you didn't like it, you probably didn't make it this far in the video anyway. My favorite car out of this wave, it's a toss-up. It's a toss-up because there are 2 cars that I think take the cake, and it's Slaw's car and Dale Jr.'s car. Which is the best one? You know what? I'm going to have to say it's Dale's car, even though, obviously, if you bought it in the Gold Series already, there's no reason to buy it again. So I would say, if you're a NASCAR diecast fanatic, you get the 00. If you're a NASCAR Authentics fan, you get the 88. So that was my review. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you guys so much for watching. This has been David Land on YouTube. Have you eaten at Hooters before? Let me know down in the comments below. And we'll see you in the next video.